In this video, I want to talk about the things that I learned my first 24 hours in Puerto Escondido, Mexico. As a quick note before I start, please take everything I say with a grain of salt, as this is my first time in Mexico and I've only visited the city of Puerto Escondido. Also, you can probably tell I'm extremely white, so this is a white American guy's take on Puerto Escondido. Okay, first off, I want to address the danger. Is it dangerous? This is everyone's question about Mexico. And what I would say is, yes, it is dangerous, but so are many cities in the US. You don't want to be looking flashy here. You don't want to have really nice clothes on. You don't want to stick out more than you're already going to. I'm going to stick out. I'm super white. I'm trying to get a tan, so I have my shirt off. But that said, I'm not going to walk around with a bunch of money out. I'm not going to count money in the street. I'm not going to have a fancy watch on. I'm not going to have fancy clothes on. And I'm not going to try to attract attention to myself. That would be the reason I'm filming this on an empty street and not in the bustling downtown area. So if it's not dangerous, then you have nothing to worry about, right? Well, not quite. I would say the danger comes from the ability to be taken advantage of. Since I don't speak really good Spanish, I'm an outsider. People can tell this. If I get in a cab, they're gonna try to charge me way more than they would if they could tell I was a local. I think this is probably something that doesn't happen in the US because there's a lot of immigrants there and not everyone looks the same. If I see someone who looks Mexican, Asian, different ethnicities, I'm just gonna assume them to be a US citizen still. Here, Puerto Escondido being a very touristy place, if you stick out, they're gonna assume you're a tourist, they're gonna assume you have more money than them and that you can pay it. So what can you do to avoid this? Well, try to not get yourself in sticky situations. Don't be alone at night and need to get a 15-minute taxi. They're gonna way overcharge you. Learn as much Spanish as possible before you come. Be prepared, have lots of cash on you. And sometimes, yes, you're gonna have to bite the bullet and pay a little bit more just because you're a gringo or an outsider. Next, I wanna address the cost. Now, I have a couple things to say about the cost. One, it is a little bit more expensive than I thought it would be. That's probably in part because I'm in a touristy area. Another thing, remember to have lots of cash. There are many places here that still do not take card. And if you want to be able to get like street food and stuff, have lots of cash on you. Also note, many places charge a 5% fee to use a card if they do take it. What about the water? Is it safe to drink? Is it not safe to drink? What my advice would be is if you're only visiting Mexico temporarily, just be safe, don't drink the water. I have heard a couple of stories from fellow travelers about them getting sick, drinking the water already. If you're in a destination where there's a lot of travelers, the ice is probably safe. I've had ice here in my drinks, it's been fine. But just go ahead, buy bottled water and do not drink the water. If you have a sip, you're gonna be fine, but more than that, I would stay away. Next up, I wanna address the infrastructure and comfort here in Puerto Escondido. Similar to some of its neighbors below in Central and South America, the infrastructure in Mexico is not quite as good as what you're gonna find in the US. You're gonna find many just like sandy kind of streets like this, maybe rocks, broken concrete, but it's really not bad. There are still many nice buildings and actually some great architecture. Also, the plumbing's not quite as good as it is in the US. There are places where you can't put toilet paper in the toilets and just little things like that. So just keep that in mind. Also, everywhere might not have air conditioning. People that live here are used to the heat. You're probably not going to. So if you're worried about that, make sure you get a place with air conditioning. Now I want to touch for a second on the vibes here. The vibes are 10 out of 10. There's great art everywhere, murals like this, incredible music, so many young, fit people having a great time. Honestly, some of the best looking young people you can ever find. There's a ton of them here, lots of traveler, and all of the amazing beach surfer vibes you could ever want here in Puerto Escondido. Another one of my favorite things has been the beaches. The beaches here have been some of the prettiest I have ever seen. I've been to 3 beaches. They've all been beautiful and very clean. Also, you might already know this, but Puerto Escondido has some of the best surfing of anywhere in the world. You can come as a beginner or an incredibly good surfer and still find great waves. The last thing I want to say before ending this video is before you go to Puerto Escondido or anywhere in Mexico, make sure you prepare. have lots of cash on you, that being Mexican pesos, have some money saved up just in case of an emergency, do some research on where you're going, and practice as much Spanish as you can. All right, guys, I hope you find this video awesome and visit Puerto Escondido. It's an incredible time, and it's been great learning surfing and just being here, having a great time exploring the culture. I will see you on the next episode of EJRC Outdoors. Guys, make sure to like and subscribe.